offer up. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Ki Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gauranga. Welcome everyone for the Bhagavad Gita overview session. We're discussing from chapter 4. So far, Krishna has explained the history of Bhagavad Gita in this chapter 4, giving us a wonderful insight with regard to his own transcendental existence, how Krishna's personality, his appearance, and his mission on earth are something beyond our understanding. But he has explained very mercifully to all of us to make us understand that he has a specific mission, specific purpose. What is the purpose? The purpose is to reclaim us back from this material.
Any issue? Not able to hear. Prabhu, are you able to hear?
No, Prabhuji, we are not able to hear.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I can't hear anything, Prabhuji.
Frozen.
We can't hear.
We can't, yes. We lost the signal.
Oh, yeah. No signal also.
I think Vrindavan signal is disconnected.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Sir, are
Krishna.
you not able to connect to Prabhuji in Vrindavan?
No.
You don't have a phone to contact like that?
Yeah, I have a phone. Why I
You
don't
have
have a phone, my dear friend?
No,
Huh?
that way.
What you are saying?
No, I know. That's
No, I can call. I can call.
I mean, we can't phone up at this thing.
Hare Krishna, am I audible, everybody?
Now it's come
Hare
back.
Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Suddenly
yes,
we have lost
we
signal.
can hear.
Suddenly the internet was out. No internet is working. So it's a technical glitch. Nevertheless, I connected on mobile. So we were discussing that. Krishna explained to us that lust, kama, is the cause of our bondage in the material world. And to come out of this lust, only way is to equip ourselves with knowledge, proper knowledge. So to give this knowledge, Krishna is speaking this chapter, 4th chapter. And before explaining this knowledge, Krishna has given the history about this knowledge. Right? What is the history? Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita many millions of years before to sun god. Then sun god spoke to his son Manu. Manu spoke to his son Ikshvaku. Like this, in the chain of disciplic succession of the saintly kings, Raja Rishi, Krishna says, knowledge was being transmitted in the whole human society. Krishna also identified that due to some reason, the knowledge was lost. So Krishna has chosen Arjuna to be the recipient of this knowledge, and so that the
Recording in progress.
Sorry. System. So Krishna has again, Krishna has chosen Arjuna to give this knowledge, so that through Arjuna, this knowledge can be again be prevalent in human society. So having given this much background, Arjuna was very curious to know about Krishna's speaking Bhagavad Gita to sun god, because Arjuna and Krishna are both contemporaries. So Krishna, taking this opportunity, explained to him about his transcendental situation, that his birth is not like ordinary child's birth. His birth is beyond laws of nature. Laws of nature, whom all of us are governed, we are subjected to repeated birth and death. We are forced to take birth. Krishna is not like that. Krishna is beyond this laws of nature, and he appears, and his appearance is called incarnation. Whenever he wants, he'll appear. And there are scheduled way of appearances, which Shastras explain. Basically, Krishna incarnates for three purposes: to protect his devotees, to kill the demons, and to protect or re-establish the religious principles. And Krishna also says, one who understands the various incarnations, why they appear, how they appear, and the different instructions what they give, all these things in truth, in fact, will actually qualify himself to liberate from this world and go back to spiritual world after this life. This is his last life. Krishna says this. And many, many great devotees have followed this path in the previous times. And Krishna says, as the devotees or the followers or the sadhakas have performed whatever level of progress towards Krishna, that much Krishna has reciprocated as his blessings, right? So, and Krishna also says that this whole world is having a system of division called Varnashrama, based on the quality or the nature or the guna, the nature which the living entities have acquired, and the type of work they have performed, guna karma. Lord has divided the whole society, human society, into 4 divisions. 4 social divisions, 4 spiritual divisions. A social division of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and spiritual divisions of Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. So this is the background actually what Krishna has spoken with regard to aspect of how to come out of the lust. Right? What is the knowledge to come out of the lust? We have to work for that. So Krishna has begun the instruction with regard to you have to work. There is a problem called enemy called lust sitting in our consciousness. So this enemy has to be driven out. Right? He has to be completely chased out. So for that, Krishna says, endeavoring on your own is not possible. You have to follow the previous authorities. Krishna explains this in verses 15-16 very clearly, that like your forefathers, like the previous great devotees have done, you also do. Because Arjuna was battling with lust in one sense. Lust means what? desire for personal gratification. He was thinking about his own family members' benefit, about many other personal benefits with regard to what will happen if everybody die, who will glorify me. Right? That was this. These were the concerns which Arjuna expressed in chapter 1, if you remember. So actually, Arjuna was battling with lust and its corollaries. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. This is what the situation with all of us. So Krishna says, you go on battling with your own, anarthas. You will never win over. You have to follow previous authorities, because the ways karma acts on us. Karma means one meaning of karma is action. One more meaning of karma is resultant reaction. What all we have to experience in our life, day to day, moment to moment. Right? So Krishna says, what is going to come next moment, what is in my stock, and what to do, what not to do. It's a very complex phenomenon. Even great thinkers are bewildered to understand what is what. So Krishna specifically says, Arjuna, this particular aspect or very complex subject matter is so intricate that I am personally giving this knowledge to you now. Right? Because the human being is supposed to know, Krishna says. One should know properly. Verse number 17, Krishna says, one should know properly what is action, what is inaction, what is prohibited action. Karma, vikarma, akarma. Because this is very much part of our life. What is going on? Right? What I should do, what I should not do. What are the right actions? What is it I'm going through in my life as karma is very important. How to work? Why we have to work? We have to work to overcome lust. Very important. It's a very important background we have to have when you're discussing the verses today. This whole chapter is meant for that. So I'm giving the proper context in which we're going to discuss today's verses. So Krishna explains a very important principle called akarma in verses 17 and 18. Akarma means action sanctioned by Krishna which has no reaction. Ordinarily, any action you do, even as per Vedic regulations, has a reaction. Just like there are recommendation of performance of some rituals, some activities as per Vedic regulations, that has a pious reaction, punya. And actions which is not recommended by Vedic regulations, which you do on your own, whimsically, has a negative reaction, called papa karma. Punya, papa. But actions recommended by Krishna, when you do, you are beyond papa, punya. It's a very important concept Krishna is introducing in Bhagavad Gita. This is going to be discussed throughout the Gita now, rest of the Gita. So this is a very important principle because reading Bhagavad Gita is not punya. It is beyond punya. It is transcendental. Chanting Hare Krishna is not a ritual. Is not some punya activity. It is beyond punya. One of the offenses we chant, 10 offenses. One of the offenses is to consider chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activity. Right? Sometimes people think, oh, going to temple, Bhagavad Gita reading, doing some puja, going to some Tirtha Kshetra, all punya, punya, punya. This is beyond punya actually. Right? That's the point. So Krishna is introducing this concept called akarma, very important principle. Krishna says, only intelligent can understand this. Right? Which means you have to really get into the subject matter properly with seeking blessings of Prabhupada, that we can at least enter into the mystery of this science which Krishna is explaining here. So, how does this akarma principle work? What are the various nuances or various aspects of this akarma principle is what Krishna is going to explain in verses 19 to 25. Okay, so it is like basically Krishna is explaining how to work, practical direction. Very important, because we are not simply working with our hands or legs or our gross senses. Our action is dependent on our direction from the mind. And mind is directed by intelligence. Intelligence is influenced by false ego, identity, who I am. Right? So, this Krishna has explained in the previous chapter, already third chapter, the hierarchy of our different selves. The bodily self or the sensual self, the mental self, emotional self, and intellectual self, and the egoistic self. And beyond all this is the real self, at your Atma. Right? Right now, whatever level a person is advanced to in his understanding, he will act on that platform. Mostly, animals work on the bodily or sensual platform. Just I and my senses. That's it. The modern day civilization is working on that platform. Basically, sensuality, sense gratification. Wherever I can get maximum sense gratification is my life. I'm happy. That's what animals do. Right? They don't, they're not bothered about emotional well-being. Right? Emotional well-being means family, relations, then connections, and then being together. It's called emotional, mental. Right? Intellectual is much beyond that, understanding what is the purpose of life, what to do, how to move forward, like this. So, these verses are very important verses in Bhagavad Gita, which is going to give us, or rather make us understand what should be our emotional and intellectual situation in every action. Because this is what determines us to act. Because every action, your response to any stimulus in front of you depends on your background understanding, your mental and intellectual understanding. Otherwise, you'll be blank in action. Right? So here, Krishna is stating the principles, but very important. These are the principles on which Prabhupada says our Krishna consciousness movement is established. These are the principles on which our devotees work. Okay, very important verses. Let's begin with verse number 19. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita jnanagni dagdha karmana tamahu pandita buddhaha. So, Krishna is very nicely explaining here who is a person with full knowledge. Pandita. There are two words used by Krishna here. Pandita and Buddha. Buddha means one who is well versed, one who has practical knowledge of things. One is learning. Just like in North India, the Brahmins are called Panditji. Right? You heard this. Panditji means one who is learned. He knows Vedas. He knows various scriptures. That's called Panditji, Pandita. Right? Learned. Scholarly. Buddha means one who is well versed and he knows the conclusions. This word Pandita, Buddha, Krishna uses in various contexts in Bhagavad Gita. In 5th chapter, next chapter, Krishna uses word Pandita. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gaviyastini Shuni Cheva Shapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. In the context of how to see things around us, we should not see every entity as simply external body. We should see the soul within the body. Then he is a learned man, Krishna says. He is a Pandita. Chanakya Pandita gives very nice understanding of who is a Pandita. Pandita basically means a learned person. He gives 3 aspects, 3 parameters to judge he is a Pandita. Matravat Paradareshu. One who sees every other woman as his mother, except his wife. First parameter. Next, Lostravat Paradravyeshu. One who sees others' property, money, wealth as garbage. Whatever is there for him, that is his. Anything else is not mine. Very clear understanding. One who sees every other woman as mother. One who sees others' wealth as garbage. Lostravat Paradravyeshu. Atmavat Sarvabhuteshu. One who sees everybody else, every other living entity, other suffering as his own suffering. He doesn't, he is not having that understanding that, oh, only I am important, everybody is insignificant. No. He is having a broad understanding that every living entity is Atma and everybody goes through suffering, which means even ant, he understands it to be, he respects every living entity's position as spirit soul. So Chanakya Pandita says, such a person who is having these qualifications is a Pandita. Very clear understanding. And with regard to Buddha, this Buddha is the word from which the word Buddha has come. Buddha means one who has realized. Okay. So Krishna uses very nicely this word in 10th chapter. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam Buddha bhava samanvita. Buddha, same word, Buddha. Buddha means realized. One who knows that I am the source of everything. From me everything emanates. Matta sarvam pravartate. Immediately such a person surrenders unto me in full loving devotional service. Buddha bhava samanvita. He is in complete surrender to me and he offers his wonderful service to me always. Realization. Buddha means who's practically applying the learning he has in every aspect of his life. Okay, so here Krishna is telling a person is said to be learned, well-versed, when his every action is devoid of yasya sarve samarambha. Samarambha means, in Kannada, samarambha means a function, program, right? Samarambha basically means every endeavor, any action you do, either physical, verbal, or mental, right? We can act in 3 ways. Kaya, vacha, manas. Physical, verbal, mental. Any of these 3 ways we can act. Every action a person he does, it is kama sankalpa varjita. So I gave the background before we started discussion. Kama, this is the whole context here. This chapter is meant to free you from kama. Right now we have kama sankalpa sahita. Every action is filled with determination to enjoy the fruits of actions. Kama means lust. Sankalpa means determination. I am determined to enjoy this material world best way possible. Every action I'm only looking for, like Google search. When I see anything, what is there for me in that? I look at opposite sex, beautiful. I look at some eatable, I should get more eatable, like that. I look at somebody's car, when I'll get this car like this. This is the way we go on analyzing in our mind. Right? And our actions also come out like that. Our talking, our actions also we act in that way. Anybody ask, what are you doing? I am running for this, I want to do that, I want to earn more money, I want to have more fame. What? For me. Nobody says I'm doing for Krishna. What is the problem? Right? So Krishna says, if you are really learned, you are well versed, Pandita, Buddha, your every action is devoid of desire for sense gratification. What is wrong in sense gratification? There is nothing wrong as long as you understand the real situation. Right now, it is misplaced. It's misidentified. That is the problem. When you have to eat, your hand will go to the food. It will pick up. It will supply the food to the mouth. Mouth does the chewing. And it goes to the stomach. Neither the hand nor the mouth ate the food. Finally, stomach is the recipient of the food. That is how the whole body is constructed. So, our body is functioning for the proper upkeep of our existence with supply of food and anything else. It's coordinated, cooperated in a particular way. Similar example Prabhupada gives with regard to a tree. A tree will get its nutrients through its roots. You have to water the root, then automatically water goes everywhere. These examples are there in Bhagavatam actually. This is to make us understand our constitutional makeup. To understand this word, constitutional makeup means the way we are made. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We trying to independently enjoy will never give us satisfaction or happiness. We have to serve Krishna, and that will give us satisfaction. Right now, our way of enjoyment is self-interested. I, me, I, me. Or maybe it is extended a little. The same thing if it is changed to Krishna, 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 everything is for Krishna. That becomes Kama Sankalpa. I am chanting for Krishna's satisfaction. Initially, when you start chanting, oh, I am feeling peace of mind. So nice. I'll chant Hare Krishna, I'll get peace of mind. No. Peace of mind is a byproduct. You are chanting for Krishna's satisfaction. That is a elevated thinking, proper understanding. Every action in Krishna consciousness, every action in devotional service is meant for satisfying Krishna. That is called Kama Sankalpa Varjita. And if your actions are having the intention or the background of satisfying you or extended you, family, society, then that is called Kama Sankalpa Sahita. Why this understanding has to be there? Because that is what our situation is. Whole Bhagavad Gita is meant to explain this for us. But constitutionally, your makeup is like this. You are made to serve Krishna. Anything else will only only make you suffer. So understanding this and accordingly working in that way with your intelligence, with your mind, proper background, and senses acting in that way is what is going to, Krishna says, is the fire of knowledge which has to constantly burn, either constantly be flamed up in the background of our consciousness to burn away all our karma. This knowledge has to be constantly burning. Very important. Because it's not that only once in a week we meet and the fire is lit up. After the class is over, fire is extinguished. That doesn't serve the purpose. Right? Recently there was a quote amongst our devotees. Sunday, people come to a temple for spiritual understanding. One Sunday you work out for your spiritual growth. It'll maybe better than nothing, but you have to do every day. Nityam Bhagavad Seva. Right? Also, the knowledge, basic knowledge, not very high-fi knowledge or difficult knowledge. Simple understanding. I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am eternal servant of Krishna. I have to serve Krishna. That's all. This has to be in the background. This is what Prabhupada is repeatedly telling in the purports from 19 to 25. Perfect knowledge of his constitutional position as the eternal servitor of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This development of knowledge of the eternal servitorship of the Lord is compared to fire. If this knowledge is constantly there behind in your background mind, it is burning. Such a fire, once kindled, can burn up all kinds of reactions to work. Because this knowledge is not there right now, our actions, what is going on? Oh, for me. What is there for me? Kama. When Kama is not satisfied, Krodha. When Kama is satisfied, Lobha. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Either Lobha or Krodha, Moha. Right? Illusion. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada. Mada means very arrogant. You become mad after enjoying your senses. And you are thinking, I got only this much. He has got more than me. And envy. Like this cycle goes on. Kama, Krodha, Lobha is what is troubling us right now. If you have to be, silenced with these enemies, or these enemies have to be, made shut up inside your consciousness, you have to follow this. These enemies are making too much noise inside you. They are shouting. And that shouting is heard from you also. Right? That is the problem now. So, Krishna is very simple, in a simple language telling. Your self-centered or self-interested activities have to be transferred to Krishna-centered activities. That's all. Prabhupada gives a nice example. We devotees do everything, so many activities. In all those activities, we are trying to see how Krishna can be in center. Just like we are building a temple in Vrindavan. We also have to go to government office. We also have to meet many officials. And next to me, one more builder has come. He has also come for some approvals with the government. Both have come for building approval only. In one case, it is Kama Sankalpa Varjita. One more case, it is Kama Sankalpa Sahita. The builder is thinking how I can make a big building and I can make a lot of money. Just see the difference. You also go to market. Your neighbor also goes to market. You purchase vegetables for offering it to Krishna, Bhoga, and another person is taking vegetables and kirana to cook for himself and their family. Difference. Kama Sankalpa Sahita, Kama Sankalpa Varjita. So every action like this, Krishna says, should be devoid of desire for sense gratification. Then what happens? This background understanding, which is burning like fire, all our reactions, karmic reactions. So we have the ability to burn away our karmic reactions if we follow the direction given by Krishna. This is one of the direction for how to work, akarma, way of working. When you act, no reaction. Right? That is what we are supposed to understand the secret. This is the first principle Krishna is talking. Now let's go to the next verse. Verse number 20. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya trupto nirashrayah karmani abhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. Now, Prabhupada uses very strong words here. He says, abandoning all attachment to results of his activities. Ever satisfied, independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings. This is a continuation of what Krishna said in the verse number 19. Because a person who is actually
Line is disconnected, Prabhuji.
Sorry for that interruption. I think internet is having a problem. Okay, so I was telling that Rupa Goswami says, Anya Vilashita Shunyam, Gyan Karma Dhanavritam, Anukulyena Krishnanushilam. Rupa Goswami doesn't say you make your desire zero. He says give up all material desires and have only desire of serving Krishna in a favorable way. So here, Krishna is telling the same thing in a very nice way. He says, you should not have attachment to results of your activities. The same what Krishna explained in 2nd chapter. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Right? You have right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled for fruits of action. Any action we do, we are looking for fruits. What I will get, for me. Prabhupada uses the word dividend. What is my dividend? Right? It's like, people use this word in bank and insurance, dividend. So Krishna Prabhupada says, when you are free from the desire for dividend, that is called bhakti. Okay. So you have to abandon. Just like, I remember traveling in train. At least, when I was young. Many places, the train is going and some rooms which the railway department has built, abandoned. It is, written in a big way. You have noticed that earlier? Yes. Okay. Abandoned means it is of no use. It is thrown, it is like, totally deserted. So similarly, we should abandon all attachment to fruitive activities, results of fruitive activities. Not action, but results of action. What will come from the result? I don't have attachment for that. I have abandoned. Abandon means you are least bothered about it. Abandon, nobody goes there, no? But rooms, those structures, like that. Should abandon our attachment to results of fruitive activities. And Prabhupada explains further that just like, in our organization, all of us are going out and doing so many services. Sometimes devotees have services of going and doing collection for temple. Right? They collect money and come and offer it to Prabhupada. Right? Outside world, whatever you collect, it is you think I have to enjoy. But devotees have been trained, is not for your enjoyment, it is for enjoyment of Guru. In Vedic system, the brahmacharis used to go out and collect bhiksha, alms, from various houses. And in the evening, they'll come and deposit everything to Guru. Just like they get grains, vegetables, so many things. And Guru used to arrange for cooking. And if Guru calls, okay, disciples, come and have your prasadam, they have to come. Otherwise, if Guru forgets to call, fasting. This is a regulation in Vedic understanding. Because whatever the disciple has collected, it is Guru's property, not disciple's property. If you start claiming, oh, I have done this, then that is wrong. That's what Krishna is telling us here. Abandon such mentality. Attachment. You abandon attachment. So, because a devotee is acting on the platform of pure love for Krishna, Prabhupada says, he has no attraction for results of action. Because results is left to Krishna. Whatever he wants to give is left to him. So because of this, the devotee is Nitya Truptaha, always satisfied, ever satisfied. Whereas ordinarily, a person thinks, oh, I got this much result. This year, no promotion, always dissatisfied. My friend who got, who got admission later on, he got promotion. Or if you see in the classroom, oh, both of us studied together. He got better marks, I got less marks than him. Dissatisfaction, right? So it is comparison. And then competition is causing dissatisfaction because there is no Krishna in the center. I am the center. When Krishna in the center, you're always happy, ever satisfied. Ever satisfied means always you're, seeing the positive aspect of it. Oh, so nice. Just like Prabhupada says, in the spiritual world, if one gopi is doing nice service to Krishna, other gopis appreciate. In material world, one person is successful, other people are there to pull his leg. Hey, how can you become so successful? Still, we are not successful, right? This is the material world. Material world means you're always having competitive mood and want to, no satisfaction. Externally, you may just show off that I am satisfied, but internally your enviousness is burning. No satisfaction. Nitya Trupta. And Nirashraya. Nirashraya means Prabhupada says it is without any shelter or other, he is independent. He is not depending on any other situations around him. Right? He is completely dependent on Krishna only. That's all. Just like in the outside world, people are dependent on so many factors for their profession, for their earning, for their this. Everything is all interconnected. Oh, because of this, I couldn't do this. Or today, the public transport was not there, so I couldn't go to office. Today, this happened. It's all so interdependent in the material world nowadays. Some war is happening in Russia and Ukraine. Your prices of steel and other commodities will go up like anything. Just see. Interdependency it is. Whereas a devotee, hardly, it is. He is not dependent like that on anything and everything. Whatever Krishna sanctions, he sees as Krishna's sanction. That's all. So, Tyaktva karma phala sangam, nitya trupto nirashrayaha. In this way, the devotee is karmani abhipavrittopi. Always he is engaged in all undertakings. Prabhupada says, engaged in all kinds of undertakings. And even though he is doing everything, every action, just like Prabhupada says, we are organization, ISKCON, Hare Krishna movement. We also want capital, land, people. We also have offices. I also have laptop. Everything is required for preaching. But in our case, the activities, whatever we do, is all directed towards Krishna. So Krishna says very clearly in this verse, Naiva kinchit karotyaha. We are not performing any fruitive action. That's what Prabhupada is teaching us. So likewise, in every aspect of your arrangement what you have, use it for Krishna's satisfaction, then there is no fruitive action. Fruitive action means that action what you do, some results come and you want to enjoy or suffer. That is entanglement. What Krishna says in 3rd chapter, what does he say? Yagnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Right? Any action which is not meant for satisfaction of Krishna is a karma bandhana. It's going to entangle you. So in verse 19, Krishna explained that your desire should be purified desire, kama sankalpa varjita. Then that purified desire only for serving Krishna will act as a blazing fire. It will burn away all your karmic reactions. And practically speaking, how you should work? You should work in a way that you should not have attachment to the results of activities. And because you are so much dependent on Krishna in every action, you are not dissatisfied. You are, whether good or bad, Krishna sanctioned. You're always having that wonderful understanding. And in this way, you go on working. Any action required for Krishna's service as sanctioned by Prabhupada, you go on doing. And this is making you free from reactions. The whole context we're discussing is the principle of akarma here. Action which has no reaction. Right? And why we have to do action without any action which has no reaction? Because we have to be free from the disease called kama. Right? That's the whole discussion we are having. Next verse. Verse number 21. Nirashir yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. See, very nicely Krishna says, such a man of understanding. Which understanding? Verse 19-20. Such a man of understanding acts with mind intelligence. Yata chittatma. Chitta means intelligence. Atma means mind. Right? And perfectly controlled. And he gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions and acts only for bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. Just see. So wonderfully Krishna is explaining. Nirashi. Nirashi means not having intense desire for material enjoyment. Right? Krishna is repeating something so that it is very clear for us. Person whose only desire is serving Krishna, it is called Nirashi. Asha means desire for personal gratification. Nirasha means no desire for personal gratification, only desire for Krishna's satisfaction, without any other personal motivation. And his mind and intelligence is perfectly controlled. How? Again, if you refer Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, what we discussed from verses 54 to 72. Arjuna asks 4 questions. Krishna gives answers for who is a Sita Prajna, how his mind intelligence are controlled. Everything Krishna explains so well. Right? So mind intelligence perfectly controlled, and he has given up the sense of proprietorship. This sense of proprietorship, Krishna has explained in 2nd chapter again, in many contexts. He says, Nirmama, this is not mine. Then whose it is? It's Krishna's. Everything belongs to Krishna. I am not this body. Nirahankara. Nirmama, Nirahankara. Then Nirapeksha. No other apeksha other than satisfying you, serving you. These are all Krishna explained in 2nd chapter very nicely. Nirmamo, Nirahankara. Right? So, the aspect of claiming proprietorship over physical property, wealth, or intellectual aspects, or creativity, that I did it, it's because of me, I was so intelligent, I was able to manage, I did this, opened this factory, I opened this, establishment, I am so nice, I can sing, I can talk, all this various aspects of, a personality, which is not actually yours. It's Krishna given. Anytime Krishna can take away. Right? Krishna comes as all powerful, all plundering death. Mrityu sarva harasyaham. He'll plunder everything and go at time of death. But right now we are claiming, I am proprietor. I am proprietor of this land, I am proprietor of this, that, this, everything. When he comes and takes away everything, where you are, you also don't know. That is our situation right now. So, this is a wonderful understanding with which a devotee is working, because of which he knows, I am not the proprietor. He just want to maintain his body, that's all. Shariram kevalam karma. Prabhupada says very nicely, he acts only for the bare necessities of life. Not that he is going on accumulating more and more money, property, etc., etc., etc. Rupa Goswami gives us 6 instructions which will destroy our bhakti. Right? I have earlier also mentioned. It is a book called Nectar of Instruction. He says, Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyamcha. Atyahara means eating more than necessary or accumulating more than necessary. It's called atyahara. Accumulation anyway, wealth, knowledge, anything. Right? So much. Oh, I want to read this. After reading, what is in your mind? Zero. What is the use? Oh, I have got so much of wealth. Every day I open the cupboard, Godrej. Oh, I am counting all the money and again closing it. Where is out of satisfaction? Right? That is called kripana. Right? So such a person, what is the use of keeping the wealth? So this is called atyahara. And eating, I can eat 4 idlis, but I want to eat 8 idlis now. Right? In the marriage, I've gone and I want to taste every item what is in the menu. Even though your stomach is full, you have eaten up to here. It is called atyahara. So next day, indigestion and you will go to hospital. So this is not the way to, work. Atyahara. And to get all these necessities, so much wealth, so much of understanding, all these things, your prayasa. Prayasa means over-endeavoring. Something impossible you want to achieve. I want to be the best man. I want to be the richest man. I want to be that. I want to be this. Prayas, so much of endeavor, over-endeavoring. Atyahara, prayasa, prajalpa. Prajalpa means unnecessary talks. Goes on talking nonsense. Right? You get a phone, nowadays phone is so easy. You start means non-stop. Other person is, what is he talking? You would have kept the phone somewhere and you're going on talking. You'll be doing some other work. So like this, we go on talking, whether it is sense or nonsense. That is called prajalpa. Anything connected with Krishna, it is sense. Otherwise, it's all useless. So atyahara, prayasa, prajalpa, niyamagraha. Niyamagraha has 2 meanings. Niyama agraha means you are too much strictly following rules, regulations, but doesn't know what is the spirit. Just like in South India, there are smart Brahmins. Smart Brahmins, too strict. Okay, muddy. Muddy means, very, too much, understand. Means like something we cannot, if unclean, something has touched something, then that whole thing has to be rejected. Right? Somebody has touched one full bucket of water with unclean hand, that water is rejected. You throw the water, not the water, the whole tank you throw. That is called, that is called niyam, means too much into rules, regulations, doesn't understand the spirit of that, why you are following that. Right? That is called niyamagraha, one niyamagraha. One more niyamagraha is not at all following any rules, regulations. Simply, I don't want to follow any rules, regulations. I am free. That is called one more niyamagraha. That is also cause of fall down in bhakti. So overeating or over accumulation, over endeavoring, then unnecessary talking, then either too much following without any understanding or not following any rules, regulations. Niyamagraha, atyahara prayasa, prajalpo niyamagraha, janasanga, bad association. People, who are not interested in progressing in bhakti or associating with them too much. Association means, physical association is hardly it matters, but mainly it is association with mind, their thoughts. It's like you watch a television. You are actually mentally associating with the TV serial or a film, what is going on there. You get involved in that characters. That is called association. So this janasanga should not happen. Then laulya means too much greedy to attain, things, material things for yourself. Very greedy. You're, you don't have the greed for Krishna. These 6 things will spoil your bhakti. Right? So this is what Krishna, is telling here, that the devotee is other way. What is he? Rupa Goswami says 6 more things which will help you in bhakti. He says, Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyaga Shatovritte. You are very enthusiastic to do service to Krishna. How? The way Krishna is describing here. Right? Your mind, intelligence fully controlled only for serving Krishna without any desire for personal gratification. Now you are very enthusiastic to serve Krishna in every aspect, every time, anytime you are ready for service to Krishna. And Utsaha Nishchay, very confident. Serving Krishna is such a wonderful thing, so nice thing. You are very confident because Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, I have told you, this is what is the highest thing in your life. You have full confidence. Right? This full confidence, you are doing every activity with dhairya, with determination, with patience, you do this. Right? You are not haphazardly doing it. You have started the activity, you are very confident that result will come because Prabhupada has assured us, Krishna has assured us. Right? So, Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya, Tat Karma Pravartana. To do this, what all rules, regulations are there, you will try to follow. Very diligently, very seriously, very meticulously. And again, Sangatyaga means you are not associating with materialistic people. Shatovritte means to follow in the footsteps of previous acharyas, previous great devotees, like this. These are the 6 principles of favorable aspects of executing bhakti. Right? Like this, Prabhupada explains very nicely that we have to have this basic understanding that what are we doing, how we should act, how our action should be directed towards what is the goal, what is the ultimate end which we are supposed to achieve. As Krishna says here, we have to achieve our real situation of being eternal servant of Krishna. To do that, whatever actions is required, we should do. Physically, mentally, intellectually, everything we have to start working. Because unless you have proper understanding of what you are and why you have to work this way, how will you act? You are blank. Right? You will be conditionally acting. Conditional means whatever way your karma has been going on since so many lifetimes, that is all in your mind, in your subtle mind, subtle consciousness. That will only direct you. That's what Krishna says in 3rd chapter. Your conditional life will anyway take over you. Right? I'll take over that verse. Very nice verse. In verse 33, 3rd chapter, Krishna says that Prakritim yanti bhutani. Right? Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. Everyone follows his own nature. Right? So, our conditioned life anyway will direct you, force you. There's a guna kala karma pravaha going on. It's anyway going to act you. Default way we are made up now with this body. So we have to act, that exercising our free will to act way Krishna wants us to act is what is going to change the default way of working in our present situation. That is what Krishna is trying to tell us here. Okay, so we have to change this, our conditioned way of thinking, feeling, acting to Krishna's way of thinking, feeling, acting, which is going to awaken our real situation of Atma. Otherwise, we'll be going on like this life after life. Right now, in the human form of life, we can understand all these things. If we degrade to lower life forms, we can't even understand these things. Again, you have to wait to get a human form of life for many, many millions of lives. Just see the great opportunity we have got. That's why it is said, Durlabham Manusham Janma. Okay. Let us go to the last verse of today's discussion. 22nd verse, Krishna says, Yadricha Labha Santushto Dvandva Tita Vimatsaraha Sama Siddhau Asiddhaucha Kritva Pin Nibadhyate. How does this person actually act? In what way? He is satisfied with whatever gain which comes of its own accord. Yadricha Labha Santushto. He is not, having any competition. Oh, he got more, I got less. I have to work hard. No, whatever Krishna has sanctioned, Krishna only has to sanction. Krishna has sanctioned him what he deserves, and whatever I deserve, Krishna has sanctioned. Laws of karma are perfect. It cannot, it cannot have any fault in it. Fault is in you. You are looking in a different way. That is the problem. Laws of karma are highly perfect, highly precise. Everybody gets what he deserves. Right? So because so many action-reaction cycles, so many permutation combinations, Lord knows what one deserves. So what has come to me, what has not come to me, what has been taken away from me. 3 things. Which means what has sanctioned to me, what has been sanctioned to me, what has not been sanctioned to me, and what was there with me, what is taken away, is all Krishna's mercy. That is called Yadricha Labha Santushto, which means whatever happens is Krishna's will. Right? Sometimes something which has not happened as per your desire. Something has to happen according to your desire, means your limited thinking. What do you know about the overall aspect of your other aspects of your life, previous lives? You're only thinking in a very in a very narrow manner, only for a particular situation. Krishna has a bigger plan for you. So in that way, you have to understand whatever is happening is only because of Krishna's will, is sanctioned, and anything is around you. Somebody is rich, somebody is poor, somebody is beautiful, somebody is ugly, somebody educated, uneducated. All these various, so-called inequalities which people think are, partiality, is not partiality. It is all everybody's own previous karma's results, which Krishna has sanctioned. Right? So everybody has the ability to rise up spiritually. Right? In present life, materially, whatever you do, your situation is fixed. You cannot change. Bhagavatam explains your destiny from material aspect is fixed. But if you can endeavor spiritually, Krishna will see that everything else is taken care. Right? Materially, even if your destiny is fixed in a particular way, Krishna sees that it will change in a different way. Prabhupada gives example. These Westerners, Americans, they were all drug addicts. They were all engaged in so many habits which are all not mentionable. But after taking to Krishna consciousness, they have become so nice devotees. They have become bright-faced, Prabhupada says. Many people tell me they have become bright-faced. Because as soon as you take up Krishna consciousness, there is a glow in your face. Krishna within you is shining from your face. That's what happens. So it is very obvious when a person is practicing Krishna consciousness, reciprocation begins in this way. So what happens materially to anybody, Krishna's sanction is there. The devotee understands this and takes it that way. And all this is why? Because he is beyond these dualities, beyond this bodily conception of life. Dvandva atito. This bodily conception of life brings in what is known as matsarata or enviousness. I am that, I am this, you are that, I am this. All these various comparisons, competitions, complaining natures, all this. Why? Because we only see from the bodily concept of life. A devotee is beyond these dualities. good, bad, nice, good. So many things like this, we always do go on in our mind with so many comparisons, with competitive understanding. That is not there in devotee's mind. He is beyond duality, free from duality, and does not envy. Materialistic person means dualistic. Always, he thinks I am better, he is nothing. That is duality. Right? Envy. Envy means para sukha asahanam. Others' happiness I cannot digest. That is called envy. It's like this TV advertisement I remember seeing. Owner's envy, neighbor's pride. Right? But Orida TV. Right? In school days, I remember seeing that. So, enviousness. This enviousness, people think it is a good quality. We have to be envious, to be competitive, to be very productive, all these things. It's not a quality recommended in spiritual progress. Okay. So, such a person who is beyond duality, enviousness, he is steady both in success and failure. Because he knows whatever is happening in my life is Krishna's sanctioning. Krishna has allowed it. Right? So he doesn't see it as, he doesn't interfere or intervene in a way as though because of me or because of something reason. He's not having any blame or reasoning beyond Krishna's sanction. Right? Ordinarily, people give so many reasons. Oh, that happened. Oh, that's why I'm successful. Oh, because of this person, no, it is unsuccessful. Anything, finally, Lord has to sanction. This is what Krishna explains in 18th chapter. So many factors are there. Finally, Daiva, Krishna's sanction is not there, nothing can happen. Right? So, Krishna conscious person is about duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. He is steady in both success and failure. So, Krishna says, these are the symptoms by which a devotee is conducting himself, and because of which he is not entangled, although performing all actions. Krutva api na nibadhyate. The whole discussion was, what is the principle of akarma? Akarma, action without any reaction. The devotee acts, but without any reaction. What are the details of that action? How does he act? What is his mental situation? What is intellectual situation? That's what we have discussed in these last 4 verses. Okay. So I will conclude here. So before we close, anybody has anything to ask, discuss? Hare Krishna. These verses are very important. I request all of you to go through these verses. And also there are very good Prabhupada's lectures on these verses. I will tell Rahul to share the link for all these verses. Very nicely Prabhupada further elaborates on this on these verses lectures. Every lecture, he has given lectures in Bombay in 1974 in a series for every verse. So I will share the links. Please hear them. It'll by the next session when we have, I request all of you to go through them very carefully, because this is a very important subject matter what we have discussed today. Right? This is how our consciousness should be, to really maintain a very sober top type of a consciousness. Otherwise, always will be disturbed, distracted. See, Bhagavad Gita is such a wonderful knowledge which Krishna has given us, philosophical understanding, which when you have properly understand and apply it in our practical lives, it will bring you to the level of sobriety. People generally become disturbed, agitated, because they always lack this philosophical understanding which Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. Right? So this is really going to bring you to the next platform of maturity. This is real wisdom which Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. Like this, there are sections in Bhagavad Gita which really needs our full attention and full time to focus on what Krishna is telling. If you really properly, put your time, energy to understand this, Krishna will reveal his knowledge. I have tried my best to whatever possible to, make you explain this to whatever I have understood. Hope, I have communicated. But nevertheless, I request all of you to read this translation purpose seriously, and also hear the lectures which Prabhupada has given on these verses. That is going to give you a much better insight on what we will discuss today. Okay. Any question, any clarification, any comment?